So these are the optional algebra review sections. I'm just going to do some breaking up algebra 1 into little bite-sized pieces and like the most important things, or that I deem the most important things to prepare you for algebra 2. So yeah, if you have any questions that come up though, feel free to email me. I'm going to start off with the real basic stuff and then we'll gradually get into more complex topics. So the first part we're going to talk about the multi-step equation. And so we've got a lot of solve for x in this. And we'll do inequalities too, / inequalities. All right, so looking at multi-step equations, I'll give you an example. So let's take a look at, the instructions would say solve 3x minus 7 plus 5x equals 25. This is like the baby algebra you've done since you were a little tiny thing. You've got to combine your like terms since they are both on the same side of the equal sign. So there's 8x's minus 7 equals 25. And then we add the 7 to both sides. So 8x equals 32 and divide by 8. So x equals 4. Easy peasy, right? And we could also look at something maybe that's a little more complex or requires a few more steps. So we can solve, let's see, we'll call that A. This one we'll call B, and it'll be 6 times the quantity x minus 2 plus 5x equals 43. So the first step is to distribute the 6 over the subtraction. So 6x minus 12 plus 5x equals 43. 6x and 5x is 11x minus 12 is equal to 43. We'll add 12 to both sides. So 11x equals 55, divide by 11. So x equals 5. So easy peasy on those. Let's take a look at a situation where we have x's on both sides of the equal sign. So let's take a look at example. We're going to solve this situation here. I'll do a few of them. 3x plus 55 equals 8x. So when your variables are on both sides of the equal sign, then you've got to subtract it over. We're not combining like terms in this case. We are doing the inverse operation with the variable term. So 55 equals 5x. And dividing by 5, x equals 11. Okay, now you could have something funny where you get, let's call this example B. 5 minus 9x equals negative 9x. Again, variable term on both sides, so let's combine them this way. And I get 5 equals negative 9x plus 9x is 0. When is 5 equal to 0? Never. So we write no solution for this one. So that is an example that is an unusual example. And let's do one more. So 4 times the quantity x plus 3, this is a few more steps, obviously, plus 3x plus 12x plus x. So the first thing we're going to need to do is distribute the 4 over the addition. And we can also combine like terms on this side of the equal sign, so 4x is over here. And oh my goodness, look at this, 4x plus 12 equals 4x plus 12. Let's just continue and see what happens. Minus 12, so 4x equals 4x. Interesting. If we divide by 4, we get x equals x. When is x equal to x? Always. This is the identity property. Identity property. Or if you're fresh out of geometry, This would be like the reflexive property. And so your solution is any number. You can put any number in there and it'll work. All right, so I'm going to give you a few worksheets that have this kind of practice in it. And then I'm going to also show you some inequalities. So inequalities behave very similarly. Just a little exception to the rule here. Or not even an exception, an addition to the rule. So here's our inequalities. Let's do an example. We're going to solve and graph these. So we've got 12 minus the quantity, or 4 times the quantity x minus 5, less than 8 plus x. Distributing the negative 4 over the subtraction, so 12 minus 4x plus 20, be very careful, less than 8 plus x. All right, I'm going to combine my like terms on the left, so 32 minus 4x less than 8 plus x. And let's see, I think I will subtract 32 from both sides. So negative 4x is equal to negative 24. Oh, not equal to, sorry, less than. And divide by negative 4. Okay, that was the trick step right there. Whenever you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative, you must reverse the order of the sign. So x is actually larger than 6. And so the graph would look like, well, let me put 0 on for reference. Here's a 6. You've got to remember solid or open circle. And in this case, it will be open because it doesn't have an equal to. And x is larger than, so it's all the values to the right of 6. All right, we'll do one more. We'll call this one A and this one was B. 3x plus 11 less than or equal to 3 times the quantity x plus 7. So again, we've got to do the distributing first. 3x plus 11 is less than or equal to 3x plus 21. And we subtract, let's see, I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So I've got 11 is less than or equal to 21. Now, it seems weird because they're not the same value, right? It's not the identity property here like it was before. But is 11 less than or equal to 21? Or when is 11 less than or equal to 21? Always. So this would be any real number or any solution. So we can have a number line here. I'm going to put my 0 on it. Any value on this number line will work. So we'll just shade in the whole thing. Okay, so this would be all real numbers. All right, so there's our first installment of Algebra 1 review. Enjoy.